We need to talk about Prince Andrew, his domestic arrangements, living in that massive royal lodge, 30 rooms. Used to be the home of the Queen Mother. He's been living there now for, I think, the best part of 22 years. Doesn't pay any rent, peppercorn rent. Paid a lot of money to have the place refurbished. Got a lease, I think, until 2078, but there is enormous pressure to get him out of that place because it just doesn't seem right. We don't know where he gets all of his money from. The whole thing is very, very murky. We know the King wants him out. Prince William wants him out. But he has dug his heels in and he won't move. This has now become a political issue, and in the House of Commons, the Public Accounts Committee has contacted the Crown Estate to find out exactly what is going on, because in the end there's public money involved here. You know, we help fund royalty. Royalty is in effect providing Prince Andrew with this residence, and the public has a right to know exactly what's going on, because Prince Andrew's life, his finances, his murky affairs are becoming more and more worrying. Some people are saying, or even saying, that he may have in the future to go to jail. That possibly is in the future. But let's talk to the chair of that committee, the Public Accounts Committee. He's also the Tory MP for North Cotswolds, Sir Geoffrey Clifton-Brown. Good morning, Geoffrey.
Good morning. Great to be on your show.
Thank you for joining us. Well, this is a strange case for your committee to have to be dealing with, but it is a case of great public concern. It's concerning the King, it concerns the nation, and as such, it's quite right that it concerns the government or Parliament too. You've written to as the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, you've written saying there is considerable and understandable public interest in the spending of public money in relation to Prince Andrew, which in part stems from the fact that he is no longer a working royal and from serious and disturbing allegations made against him. That's at the heart of it, isn't it, Sir Geoffrey? This guy isn't a working royal. He's in disgrace, and yet he seems to still be living off the fat of the land and his position of privilege. What is it that you would like to see to happen to Prince Andrew?
Well, we've written a detailed letter to the Crown Estate Commissioners, who basically look after all the royal property, and when I say the property, the Crown Estate property, and we've asked for several different assurances in relation to the lease, as you say, one of which is whether Prince Andrew, now in his current circumstances, since these dire allegations have emerged, whether it is still a suitable accommodation for him to be living in. I think that's the thrust of the first one. The second thing we want to know is whether, when the lease was entered into in 2003, whether it was on proper commercial terms. And the third thing we want to know is whether the property is being properly maintained, because he's obliged to do that. All the repairs and everything are carried out. There are a number of other things, but those are the main things. And
the Crown Estate, is that funded publicly, partly or fully?
The money fully goes to the Treasury. And therefore it needs to be run on proper commercial lines, and therefore we need to make sure, as guardians of, or as scrutineers, if you like, of all public spending on behalf of the taxpayer and Parliament, we need to be sure that there was no soft terms in the lease. Somehow he was getting Windsor Lodge below what would be available to any normal commercial negotiated tenant.
Yes, so there is the taxpayers have a stake in this, whether or not they are getting value for money but from the way the Crown Estate is being run, specifically in this case in relation to Royal Lodge and Prince Andrew living there. Are we, the taxpayers, getting value for our money in terms of his domestic arrangement? Is that at the crux of this issue?
That is the crux of the issue. We will obviously hope that the Crown Estate Commissioners and the Treasury reply to us by the end of November. We will obviously then examine the contents of that reply very carefully to make sure that they are giving us the answers to the questions, detailed questions that we've put to them.
And are they responding to your inquiries efficiently and to your satisfaction? Do they appreciate the gravity of this situation? Because I think it's pretty clear that the King does, that King Charles is desperate to get this guy out. But are you satisfied that the Crown Estate are as concerned and worried as the King and indeed the citizens of this country are?
Well, I would be very surprised if they don't reply fully to our letter. Of course, it's only early days yet. It only went out yesterday. But I would be very surprised in that case. As you say, I am absolutely certain that the royal family are very concerned about this whole issue. When you get Prince Charles or King Charles going out to a function and he starts getting heckled by the crowd on this issue, this becomes very serious. If I had been him, I would have been very displeased and concerned if that had happened to me. So I'm sure he will be exactly the same.
Never happened to you, Sir Geoffrey, but what I was going to ask you, not just as the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, but as an MP, a prominent MP, if I may say so, a veteran MP, and also a citizen of this country, I think we have cause to really worry about Prince Andrew and indeed his ex-wife Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, in terms of the damage they are doing to our royal family. I seriously think that unless something is done to sort this man out, this awful lying oaf who happens by birthright to be a member of the royal family, unless something is done about him, unless something is done to reorganise his domestic arrangements and to somehow shut him up and get him out of our sight, the damage to our royal family could be existential.
Well, I understand absolutely those sentiments, and I share some of them. And of course, what we must always remember in all of this is the poor victims of the alleged offences. So, I mean, they are very heinous allegations, really. And I totally agree with you. There is reputational damage here to the royal family. You're finding that people are more and more saying, well, you know, is it right to have the royal family? But that's a different matter. But it's not helping the reputation and standing of the royal family at all.
And you know, you've been around a few years, so have I. Are you know, again, as a citizen of this country, are you shocked that it's come to this? We have the Queen's favourite son, the King's younger brother, standing accused of sexually abusing a 17-year-old girl on 3 different continents, venally grifting and scrounging off a convicted paedophile, lying about his continued friendship with her. Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, same lie. Oh, I'm never talking to him again. Turns out she was. Because they didn't really care that he was a convicted paedophile. What they cared about was that he had $1 billion. And they could scrounge some of it. Are you shocked that a member of the royal family could behave in this way?
Yes, these are terrible allegations, and there is no doubt about it that it's not good for the monarchy. It's not good for the reputation of the country. So I think the royal family will be doing everything they can to try and resolve this matter, and as you say, try and really basically reduce the profile of the Prince Andrew, so that he plays, you know, he doesn't keep popping up. Because this is the worst thing, you know, we just think that one allegation has been covered off and then another allegation pops up. So I think you're absolutely right. The royal family need to deal with this matter.
They certainly do. Well, keep us posted about your letter to the Crown Estate. We'll be in touch with you. Very good to talk to you, Sir Geoffrey. Thank you very much for your time. Sir Geoffrey Clifton-Brown, MP, they're chair of the Public Accounts Committee. This has now become a parliamentary issue. You know, the Prince Andrew's weird domestic arrangements. Why is he still living there? He lives in this massive mansion in the shadow, if you like, of Windsor Castle, Windsor Great Park. Buck she. Peppercorn rent. Now, these are the privileges of the royal family. These are the privileges of status. He doesn't have any status anymore. We need to sort this guy out. The king needs to sort this guy out. His solutions so far are not good enough.